We have a busy one today. So many things to talk about, so many things to show you, so many things to say to each other. Here we are again with another English Addict live stream. This is no ordinary English lesson. It is very unusual, to say the least. Coming to you live from the birthplace of the English language, which just happens to be England. Ooh, Mr. Duncan. Oh. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. I hope you are feeling super duper today. I hope everything is going your way. I hope everything in the world is happy, bright and gay. Here we go again with another one of these. Yes, this is another live stream, English Addict, with myself, Mr. Duncan. I am one of those up there. I am an English addict, and I think you might be one as well. Live from the birthplace of the English language. Yes, we are now officially celebrating 1,000 years of English. That's a lot of candles, by the way. That would be a very big cake. Although I think I would still be able to eat all of it, to be honest. The English language is what we talk about. I love English. You might say that I am really, really crazy about English. So it's good to see you, and of course we have made it all the way to the end of another weekend and another week. We are virtually halfway through October. I can't believe already we've made it all the way to the middle of October as well. Yes, it's Sunday. We are back together at the end of a busy week from England. Or should I say what is left of England? What a week it's been here. It is never a dull moment in British politics right now. I think it is safe to say it is not dull at all. Talking of things that are not dull, we have a lovely day today. Can you see the colour? Now we are definitely into autumn. Look at the leaves on the trees. Oh my goodness, I love this so much. I don't think I'm going to be on camera today. I think instead I'm just going to leave this on the screen. So what we actually need is this view all the time. So we won't be looking at me today. There will be none of me. We will just stare at the beautiful autumn leaves. Because to be honest with you, I think it's far more attractive. It is. A lot of people say that. They say, Mr. Duncan, we don't like to look at your ugly face. Can we see something else instead? So there are some beautiful autumn leaves. I think that looks much better than me, if you had a choice. So what would you rather see? Would you rather look at the leaves, or would you rather look at my lovely, beautiful face? Please let me know on the live chat. Or not, of course. Talking of the live chat, yes, it would not be a live stream without you here with me. For those who have never watched this before, maybe it's your first time. This is not your usual English lesson. It's very different. We talk about all sorts of subjects. Sometimes we talk about things that might be a little naughty or a little rude. If you were watching last week, we had Mr. Steve here in his underpants. If you missed it last week, you really did miss quite a sight, to be honest. So we are here today live. Yes, a lot of people ask, are you live? We are live. Right behind me, that is the view right now looking across the Shropshire landscape. You can see everything is looking very golden right now because autumn is definitely here. Autumn is officially here, and I think it's safe to say that everything is looking rather nice. Hello to the live chat. Oh, very interesting. Who was first? Today on the live chat, congratulations once again to our super champion. You know who I'm talking about. Vitas is here. And you are first on today's live chat. Congratulations to you. We also have in second place, Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you back as well on the live chat. It's lovely to see you all here. We also have Marwa. I haven't seen you for a while. Where have you been? I wonder. Valentin, we have Beatrice, Zudzika, we also have, who else is here today? Olga. Hello, Olga. Nice to see you back as well. A lot of people joining in already today. Flower. Hello, Flower Espoir. I hope your day is going as well as it can. Also, who else is here? Valentin, Robert Diaz. Hello, Roberto. Should I say Roberto Diaz? I don't recognise your name. Is it your first time? Hello also, Sergio Carrion. Or Carrion. Nice to see you here as well. I don't recognise your name. Is it your first time? Also, David Lee. Hello, David Lee. Welcome to this live stream on a Sunday afternoon. It's Sunday. It is 12 minutes past 2 o'clock here in England on a beautiful autumn day. We have lots of things to talk about today, lots of things from the news. I don't normally talk about news items or things relating to the current news. However, today I thought we would for something a little different. So we are talking about maybe something that's a hot topic, maybe something that some people feel sensitive about. Protesting, going out, showing your anger or your dissatisfaction over something, maybe in your local area, maybe something you object to that your government is doing. A lot of people are protesting at the moment for various reasons, including here in the UK, because across the country yesterday, lots of people were protesting in supermarkets, and they were doing it in a very unusual way. We will talk about that later on. Also, apparently, talking of food and supermarkets, apparently in the future, and this is something that many people are now predicting, as we start to change the way we do things, maybe we become more kinder to the environment and the animals around us. There are people now who believe that in the next few years we will begin eating insects in our normal food. So instead of having meat, instead of having protein from meat sources, instead they will come from insects. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Also, of course, we are here to talk about the English language, things relating to hard and easy. Sometimes in life, things are hard. Sometimes they are difficult. They are not easy to do. And also we are looking at words and phrases connected to easy, something that is not hard, to do, something that is simple, easy. Some people say learning English is easy. Some people say that English is a very hard language to learn. So we will be talking about that later on as well. So I was out and about this week, walking around enjoying the beautiful autumn sights. Would you like to see them? Okay, let's share them together right now. So there it was, some lovely views that I filmed this week whilst out and about walking amongst nature. It's lovely. It's really nice. I have a feeling that lots of people these days enjoy doing that, to be honest with you. It is English Addict, and yes, we are live on a Sunday with myself, Mr. Duncan. Don't worry. I know what you are thinking at the moment. You are thinking, where is Mr. Steve? Is he here? The answer is yes. He will be with us in around about 10 minutes from now. Lots of things to talk about. Oh, can I say hello to Natalie? Natalie. Hello, Natalie. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I watch your videos on YouTube for some years. Many years, in fact. I really enjoy watching your videos. They always cheer me up. Thanks for that, and greetings from Germany. Hello to you, Natalie, watching in Germany. It's always nice to hear from you. Sometimes, I know, it can be hard typing your messages and pressing enter. Sometimes it takes a little bit of courage because maybe you feel awkward about doing it, or perhaps a little bit shy, maybe. But please say hello today on the live chat if you have never done it before. Feel free to do it. Talking of which, here is something I want to mention very quickly. It's quite important. So I'm going to mention this and talk about it for a few moments. But YouTube have made some changes. It is now much easier to get in touch with me here on YouTube if you are sending a message or a comment or anything, or if you want to find my content easily on YouTube. If you look in the corner, you will see there is a new address that you can use to contact me. So youtube.com/English Addict. So now this particular handle, because that's what YouTube have decided to call these things, they are handles. So now you can contact me or find my content very easily on YouTube. So you will see this on your screen, and that is my handle. It means the thing that I can be easily recognized with or by here on YouTube. So that is my handle. Can you see it? There it is. Very important. And I suppose over the next few weeks you will hear more about this. Maybe you will get some notifications from YouTube telling you all about it. So there is my handle. If you want to get in touch, or if you want to find any of my videos, including my English channel, there it is. There is my lovely handle. And I will be publicising this quite a lot over the next few days, and that is the reason why I am showing it today up there on the screen, so you will know what it is. Quite an interesting thing, in fact, and I'm rather pleased to see that YouTube are making some changes which might make it easier for you to find me here on YouTube. We will see what happens. Can I say hello to... I haven't seen you for a while. Pedro Belmont is here today. Hello, Pedro. Thank you for joining me as well, watching in Brazil. Magdalena is here also, watching. Thank you very much. Nice to see you here. Don't forget, you can contact me very easily here on YouTube using my handle. And this is something that YouTube have started doing very recently. In fact, I think I might be one of the first people or groups of people here on YouTube to have one of these. So I'm feeling rather honoured, to be honest. Hello, Sandra Gonzalez is here as well. It's so nice to see you back where you belong. We are talking about a big subject, lots of things happening in the news, many things happening this week here. First of all, we had a change in our government. The person who is in charge of the spending and how we all pay our tax and how we all have to pay our bills and survive. The Chancellor, the head of the finance here in the UK, he's only been doing the job for less than 4 weeks, and already he has been sacked. And so now we have a new Chancellor, a new head of the financial purse strings. I love that. I love that expression. When we talk about the purse strings, we talk about the money and where it's kept. So it is often used figuratively. So when we talk about the purse strings, we are talking about the place where all the money is kept, or maybe a person who is in charge of the money. They are in charge of the purse strings. They hold the purse strings. I love that expression. So that's one of the things that changed this week. We also had some sad news this week. When I was a child, I was a big fan of Disney. And one of my favourite films as a kid was a film called Bedknobs and Broomsticks. It's not an easy thing to say. And one of the stars of that movie was a lovely lady called Angela Lansbury. Sadly, she died this week. But she was working and doing things right up to the end. Very similar to another actress who I've always admired, called Debbie Reynolds. And as you probably know, she died in 2016, one day after her own daughter, Carrie Fisher. So another great actress who carried on working right up until the end of her life. And Angela Lansbury, who sadly passed away this week, was another one of those actresses, another actor who carried on, did all of those things that she loved doing right up to the end. So I have to say, I thought it was a really nice moment looking at some of the work that she's done in the past. And she's been in many things. One of my favourite movies is The Manchurian Candidate, the original version. And Angela Lansbury was in that, playing a very sinister, nasty role, which was very unusual, because a lot of people think of Angela Lansbury as being this lovely lady. But in her early days, she played a lot of devious, sinister characters. If you ever get a chance to see The Manchurian Candidate, it's a brilliant film, by the way. It was remade later, but not as good. So the original black and white version of The Manchurian Candidate, if you can see it, watch it. It's brilliant. It's a really good movie. And in some ways, it also echoes the politics of now. That's all I'm saying. Yes, the Chancellor, the person who is in charge of the government purse strings, was sacked this week because he came up with a plan that was not very good. In fact, his plan was so bad, it almost destroyed the economy of this country. It did cause a lot of problems. So now he has gone. He has been replaced. He did not last very long. I think actually we've had four chancellors over the past 4 months. Not very good, really, when you think about it. Saturino says, yes, I know the actress. She was in Murder, She Wrote. Yes. Did you know that Murder, She Wrote, which starred Angela Lansbury, was created by the same people who created Columbo? The same people. Hello, Tomek. Oh, hello, Tomek. Yes, you are rather tardy today. You are late. Where have you been? Oh, another one. Another bit of sad news, of course, was the death of the actor who played Hagrid in Harry Potter as well. I almost forgot about that. Sorry about that. I almost forgot that, because I know around the world there are many wizards who like wizarding and watching Harry Potter. So yes, I almost forgot that. Hello, Viet Khan Nguyen, or should I say Blue Thunder, because I will always think of you with your original name, which was Blue Thunder. So hello to you as well. It's very busy here today. We have a packed programme. We have a full house. We have lots of things going on. And to make things even better, we have Mr. Steve coming up as well. So please don't go away. Stay with us. We have lots to talk about today. Don't disappear. Stay exactly where you are. I know it will happen. It will happen soon. We will have a holiday. I'm pretty sure of it. Maybe not in 2022, but maybe next year. We will see what happens. Yes, we are back, everyone. I say we are back. We haven't been anywhere.
Oh, Mr. Duncan. Oh, hello.
Well, there is one way of starting.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Duncan.
That was
I
disgusting.
just saw your dimples.
That was disgusting.
I wasn't ready. I'm in a rush. I'm all of a tiz today.
I'm pretty sure that no one wanted to see the inside of your mouth there. What are you eating? Banana.
That's better. Yes, I was having a banana just to give me a little boost of energy before we embark on the next hour and a half of fun and frivolity.
I hope so.
So do I.
I hope it will be fun.
Well, as people have said, we've got a full house. We've got all the lovely people
Yes.
here today.
All the regulars.
All the regulars, and hopefully some new people as well, who will be tuning in and discover the magic, the wonderful world of Mr. Duncan's live English lessons.
I was going to say all the regulars and also all the irregulars.
Maybe a few abusers. Maybe we'll have some abusers.
Okay.
We seem to get one every week, so I'm just going to say, moderators, be on your toes, ready to cancel the horrible people that come on and try and abuse us, although we secretly like it.
It's been a while since anyone's abused me. In any way.
You mean physically?
In any way.
Every week we get somebody coming on saying something nasty. But we've got some wonderful moderators who do their job very well indeed.
Good. And they do it for nothing.
They do it for nothing. A bit like you, really.
I suppose I walked into that, didn't I?
Yes.
Yes, you do it for nothing.
I do it for nothing.
The moderators can never complain because I also do this for nothing.
Virtually nothing.
Yes, it just feels like I'm almost like a charity now. I should have charity status.
People talking of eating, I noticed before I came on, I was vigilant. Vigilant, there's a good word.
Vigilant.
That means you're always sort of watching, listening.
Yes, you are prepared.
Prepared, watching for something that could happen.
Yes,
So-
like Charles Bronson.
Yes, vigilant.
He was a vigilante.
He was, yes. On the lookout for trouble.
That's it. And if there was any trouble, Charles Bronson would find them, he would hunt them down, and he would serve his own unique brand of punishment.
Which secretly we'd all like to do to people who have wronged us in the past.
Yes, we all have
Past,
that.
as you would say.
We all have that feeling, though, don't we? Sometimes we can't control it. Revenge. I think now. I know that I'm probably going to say something really wrong here, but I think revenge sometimes can be quite sweet. Revenge. Somebody does something to you. Someone does something to you, or maybe they do something across you, which is a great expression. It means they've wronged you. They've done something bad towards you. So sometimes I think revenge is a natural urge, even though the consequences of revenge can be quite harsh. So maybe sometimes you have to hold back. You have to take a deep breath before you do anything.
Doesn't the Bible say that you can take revenge?
No.
I'm sure it does.
Can I just say the Bible tells you to do everything?
Yes, I'm sure it says that revenge is okay.
And then it tells you not to do it.
And
And
I
then
might be wrong on that.
And then it tells you to do it again.
Yes, we won't get into the Bible. Yes. Yeah, I noticed that people were talking of eating.
Mm-hmm.
I was eating my banana there.
Yes, we did notice.
I like to have a banana just before I come on online with Mr. Duncan. It gives me a little energy boost
Okay, good.
to last. It tends to run out after about an hour.
So what's the point?
The point is that I noticed people were talking about eating insects.
Yes, well, we are talking about that today. Because there are many people now who are pushing their own agenda, their thoughts, their feelings. They want changes to be made to the way that we do things. And one of them is the way in which we eat animals. So instead of getting your protein from cows and sheep and all the other little fluffy and furry animals, instead they are suggesting in the future, maybe the next 5 years, we might all be eating on slugs and snails and worms and caterpillars and locusts and grasshoppers.
The French, as we know, love their snails. I think it's a particular type of snail,
Yes.
species of snail, not your ordinary common or garden snail.
A common and garden what?
Not your everyday garden
A
snail.
communal garden snail.
Common or
you mean just a garden snail?
Yes. Not your everyday it's a special species.
Anyway, snails are the one thing they haven't mentioned. So I just did that as a joke.
Snails, insects,
But-
I don't think they're mollusks, aren't they?
Okay, anyway.
But yes.
Snails are not on the list.
What about cockroaches? Can you eat cockroaches? Because I know that certain cultures, certain countries, insects are an important part of the diet.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are at the moment eating anything, please, I apologise.
Well, Francesca says, Francesca is eating her sandwich.
Oh,
So maybe we're...
is it a locust sandwich?
I don't think so, but I think it might be putting her off her food.
But apparently what's happening is because there are many people now who are so concerned about the animals, you must stop eating the sheep and the cows and the pigs. Instead, we should be eating locusts and grasshoppers and mealworms.
The thing is, you're going to have to... How are they going to actually farm? They're going to have to be great big... you're going to need a lot of insects, aren't you, to replace the amount of protein in a cow, for example.
Well-
How many locusts would it take?
Well, it will be a form of farming. I believe there are places now already that exist where they farm certain types of insects. And what happens? So it does sound disgusting. It does sound a little bit disgusting, but I think a lot of these things are going to just be additives that are put into food. So you don't have to actually go to the supermarket and buy something that looks terrible, like this, for example. So it doesn't have to look like this. So there is something. So that is actually something that is on sale. You can buy this now. It is a type of food, and you can see fresh grasshoppers, and you can actually buy these to eat.
Well, is anybody watching us that eats grasshoppers? Because we appreciate there are different culinary tastes in different countries.
Yes.
I would imagine, I don't know what you do with those. You fry them up with a nice spicy curry sauce or something?
Well, I think the idea is you do fry them, or you fry them with batter, so they are covered, and then you eat them. But I don't want to talk about other cultures, because in other cultures, yes, some people do. But I'm on about us. I'm on about the West. Everyone. Within the next 5 years, we might be going to the shops. Instead of buying a piece of meat, we might just be buying a packet of grasshoppers or some mealworms.
I'd rather go vegetarian than eat those.
Yes,
must say.
Well, this is it. But the thing is, I think it'll take a while. I think it will be longer than 5 years to get people to stop eating meat. I think it's going to take a little bit longer than that, because there are people who love eating meat, and they might also not like the idea of having fresh grasshoppers for their evening meal.
I can't say it's really making me feel hungry. Magdalena P is often eating insects
Okay.
when she's riding her bike because they go into her mouth.
But that is not on purpose. That's accidental.
And she says, I have to swallow the small flies
This is true.
as they fly into my mouth. Yes, we've all had that. It's a bit dangerous, isn't it? Because sometimes you get like a big bee.
Do you?
That's quite dangerous. When I go running sometimes, a bee sort of, I've had a bee in my mouth.
A bee?
Yes. Oh, it's horrible. Or a wasp or a very big fly.
It wasn't a bee. You would know if you had a bee in your mouth.
I know. Well, it didn't go right in, but it sort of, nearly did. You can imagine you choke on something like that, get an anaphylactic shock.
You can swallow anything, really, I suppose, accidentally.
I suppose if something big like a wasp or a bee does go into your mouth, I think swallow it straight away.
Okay.
Chew it and swallow it, because before it can sting you.
Yes. Well,
I don't know.
I wouldn't. Please don't take Mr. Steve's advice there.
Well, Christina, who's writing a lot on here today.
Okay.
Christina, I've noticed. Thank you very much. Prefers a bag of calamari.
Oh.
A squid, isn't it? Yes, I think it's squid.
It's a type. Yeah, it's a type of sea creature with lots of legs. Yes, very nice.
Well, yes. I mean, if it's chopped up and you can't. Well, you could. It's sort of round, isn't it? With you can always tell calamari.
Well, it's the legs. They just chop them.
Yes, it's like a cross section. It's like a hula hoop.
Disgusting.
It's like a hula hoop made of squid. It's a bit rubbery. I've found, but you know.
No, I can't eat that. But it's not about that anyway. It's about saving all of these creatures, including squids. So I would imagine that they would be on the list of animals that people want protecting from human beings because we like eating meat.
Well, Inaki says if you eat prawns, you could probably easily eat a grasshopper. Yes, they're sort of, they've got legs on. There is a similarity, isn't there? They're sort of grasshoppers are like land-born prawns, aren't they?
What?
They're like prawns on the land that fly.
Hello, welcome to Nature Today, where Mr. Steve is saying things that don't sound quite right.
They're probably related. Probably, millions of years ago, a prawn crawled out of the sea, got rid of its fins and developed wings and then flew off.
Do prawns have fins?
I don't know what they've got. Something to manoeuvre, haven't they? They must have something, sort of little legs or something.
If you have come for information about nature, then you may be in the wrong place.
They've got legs that they sort of beat their legs, don't they? I think
they go for the water like that.
They tread water.
Yes, they sort of. That's what they do. They do that in the water. It looks like they're running, but they're not actually sort of on any surface. They just go through the ocean like that, and they also poop a lot. Another reason why I don't want to eat prawns, because quite often their poop is still inside them, and there's no way I'm eating prawn poop.
But people are watching, even though they're really busy. Tomek's very busy today. Said I'm swamped with work.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a high season in retail around the corner. Yes, Christmas is coming. So it's going to get busy. Well, if you need any help with the extra work, I'm doing nothing at the moment. Feel free to send some my way, and I'll only charge, say £100 an hour.
As long as you're not doing anything connected to prawns, because I don't think Steve knows anything about them, to be honest. I have a feeling. Don't mention Christmas yet. It's too early. It's too early for Christmas. And I am, you know what I'm waiting for, Steve, don't you? I'm waiting.
Easter?
No, I'm waiting. Easter? I'm waiting for people, or maybe someone in government, to tell us that we can't have our Christmas lights this year. Not us personally, but everyone. So I'm waiting for it, because there is an energy crisis at the moment. I am waiting. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm saying it now for the first time. And
you said it last week, Mr. Duncan, and the week before.
It's still me saying it.
No one else. The first time today.
No one else has said it.
Well, they are putting the Christmas lights up in Much Wenlock Town Centre.
Yes, but will they be switched on?
Well, it's been now. It's been very mild here, unusually mild.
Yes.
For this time of the year.
The weather has been nice.
Yeah, so, I know, because we're nearly into November and we've hardly had the heating on at all. Now, there have been years when even during September it's been so cold, the heating's been on all the time.
Okay.
So I'm thinking we've almost saved 2 months worth of energy.
Yeah.
So maybe we won't have an energy crisis because that was the big fear. If it was a very, very cold winter.
Well, it's only.
I know, but
Steve.
we've already saved all
Yes.
that energy for the
Okay.
last 2 months,
Yes.
September and October.
Steve, it's only October.
Well, I know, but it's going to be mild next
Yes.
week. Is it mild?
Right, yeah.
Well,
But
I'm
it
just
isn't.
wondering, is it mild in other parts of Europe? Is it unusually mild in Italy,
Yeah.
France?
It's not really winter yet.
I know, but it can be cold at this time of the
Yes.
year.
But you might end
You
up
know.
having to have your heating on every day for 24 hours if it gets really cold. And what I'm waiting for, this is what I'm waiting for, Steve. I'm waiting to be told by our government that we can't have our Christmas lights
I don't think they will.
on. I don't think they will, but you don't know, you see. After 2 years of lockdown, I think they can tell us anything, to do anything.
I mean, they
So
might
they
switch the...
Don't you dare do that.
We might have power cuts, we know that, but they won't... I don't think they'll specifically say don't have... Because, everyone likes Christmas lights.
Yes, well,
So it'll be very depressing.
we all like many things, but we can't have
not.
them.
I don't think they'll do that, Mr. Duncan.
No, we'll wait. I'm saying it now. You can say, I heard Mr. Duncan say that. No one else was talking about it.
There we go. It's warm in Italy, unusually warm. It's unusually warm. Yes, Santorino says it's warm where they are. So yes, the longer this carries on, even if it does get very cold, we're all saving fuel at the moment. So, I mean, but of course, what about Germany? Is anyone watching from Germany? Because Germany gets very cold in the winter.
Okay.
The Balkans.
I think everywhere does.
Yes. What about Amsterdam?
Amsterdam.
What about, country Sweden? Anybody watching from Sweden?
Are you just going to list every single country?
Is it cold? Is it warmer than usual in Sweden, for example? Anybody watching from Sweden? We want to know.
Is there anybody watching in Sweden at the moment? We would like to hear from you now.
Racist? No, it's not really. God's taking revenge, says for something. I don't know quite sure what for. Yes, Maxim says, I get confused with two words, lie and lay.
Yes.
Would you make it clear, please?
Well, lie is when you do actually go from one position to another. You lie down. So that means you are going from upright to down.
I'm very tired. I'm going to lie down.
But if you lay on the bed, that means you are there. You are expressing the actual action of being on the bed. So there you go. Lie. You lie on the bed. You lay on the bed. You are actually there.
Yes, you wouldn't say, I'm tired, I'm going... Well, you could say, I'm going to lay on the bed, couldn't you? I'm going to lie on the bed.
Yes, but that's just the action, isn't it?
Yes.
But to lie down, you don't say, I lay down,
No.
unless you are putting something down physically on the ground. You lay down your gun. You lay down your weapon. You are putting it down. But when you lay down on the bed, you are going flat. You are actually going on the bed. You lie on the bed. You lay down on the bed. You are lying on the bed. So
They're sort of interchangeable, just to a certain
they are,
degree.
to a degree.
To a degree, yes.
I should have got you to explain it, really.
It's very warm in Italy as well. No, Christina, I've never eaten insects. Don't think I have, no.
Well,
Not intentionally.
I thought you ate a bee.
Pardon?
Didn't you eat a bee or a wasp?
Well, not intentionally.
Oh, I see.
But yes, yes. Apparently, I'm too expensive for Tomek.
Oh, okay then.
Well, make me an offer. I'll do it for less.
Okay.
Definitely. Christina asked earlier, why was the Chancellor sacked?
Yes, because he was rubbish. I've always. Oh, can I speak today? I've already explained.
Have you?
Yes, I mentioned his little faux pas, his little mistake with the mini budget, where he wanted to change everything, which led to the economy in this country almost collapsing completely, and our pound became almost worthless. In fact, They were thinking of printing new notes, maybe £100 note or a £500 note, because things were going to get bad. It's a little bit like in some countries when inflation starts going up and the cost of everything goes up, and then suddenly they have to print much larger denominations of money. So £1,000 note, because everything becomes so expensive.
Yes, unfortunately, we've got a new Prime Minister who was voted in because she promised lots of tax cuts to the rich and to businesses and that type of thing, whereas her rival said that we shouldn't do this. But of course, people always want tax cuts. So they voted in. Basically, the new Prime Minister just bribed everybody to vote for her by promising big tax cuts. So then she went ahead with it, and the financial markets said, hang on a minute.
Okay, Steve.
You can't do this. Why are you going to pay for it?
This sounds like a phone call to one of your friends rather than...
just explaining it in a bit more detail than you did. So we lost all, the financial markets lost all trust in the UK.
Okay.
So it could have been very serious. We nearly had a complete meltdown in the financial markets.
And things aren't much better even now because the wrong person went.
Yes.
Some people say.
This is the problem we've got now in politics.
Ooh, Steve.
Is that people are getting into power by promising too much that the country can't afford. They just want to get into power, and they'll promise anything to get into power, and people will fall for it.
That's just the way it's always been.
Hasn't always been like that.
It has.
Hasn't always been like that, Mr. Duncan.
Has. President Clinton.
Well, I'm on about this country.
Yes, but I'm on about what you said, politics.
Yeah. Well, this is the trouble. If you keep promising things that you can't deliver, then, this causes problems. This is why we don't move forward.
That's what they all do.
I was reading an article today comparing Italy to the UK, because, a lot of people know that Italy have had problems with their economy and this, that and the other over the years. And apparently they think Italy is now going to do better than we are over the next 5-10 years.
Everybody's going to do better than we are.
Exactly. Because sadly, anyway, we won't go into that. Right, back to eating insects.
Outer Mongolia is going to do better than we are. Their economy is going to be better than ours.
There's too many old people. That's the problem.
What?
Yeah, too many old people. Not enough young people to work. So apparently all the old people vote for parties that will give them higher pensions. And unfortunately, they're not working, and there aren't enough young people coming along in the population to do all the work to generate the income to pay for these pensions. So it's a bit of a problem.
So the problem is old people.
It's old people. There's too many old people, not enough young people.
Always, anything that happens in this world, it always ends up being the fault of the old people.
Yes.
By the way, we're not very far away from old people.
And Lewis makes a very good point. That pensions are at risk because pension funds have lost a lot of their value. They have. This is a big problem for people. But anyway, let's not talk about pensions. That's not. But yeah, it is a problem.
Okay, Steve. Whenever you start talking about these things, I watch the viewer number just slowly go down. It drops. It literally drops.
Rubbish.
Yes, that's what you normally talk. Yes.
People are hanging on my every word. Aren't you?
Here is something I haven't seen this year. Something I haven't seen for a while. In fact, I haven't seen them at all this year. What has happened, Mr. Steve, to the ladybirds?
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
This is the
viewership are going down as we speak. Nobody's interested in ladybirds.
It's all connected, Steve. It's all connected.
To what?
Where have the ladybirds gone? We always get loads of ladybirds at this time of year. They're everywhere.
Maybe people are eating them.
But you can't eat them because they taste awful.
Well, I don't know. Maybe people are catching them in nets.
Yes.
And eating them.
No, you can't eat them.
Well, maybe you can process them.
They produce a slimy yellow substance which tastes foul.
Maybe to birds.
Yeah, I think it would be bad for us as well. So that's the reason why they're red, you see, as a warning to birds and other predators that I taste really bad. Don't eat me, please.
Olga says I've eaten too much banana. Well, I've actually only eaten half of it. Look, I've still got the other half left.
Mm.
But no, I don't know why I'm energetic today. Maybe I'm just high on life. Maybe I'm just excited to be here with all you lovely people, which is true.
High on life.
High on life, yes.
Okay.
It's 17 degrees in Rotterdam. It's been a mild autumn in the Netherlands. So yes, you see, I'm right.
You know what we're talking about today? We're talking about things that are hard. No, don't say it. Don't say anything.
Oh, that you're talking about my banana.
And things that are easy. I've met a few easy people in my time. Some people used to say I'm easy. But we are talking about things that are difficult, things that are not easy to do, and things that are easy to do, and things that don't require much effort. I wish doing this was easy, but it isn't, is it? Especially when Mr. Steve is here, to be honest. So
well,
what is...
Nitram says, Mr. Duncan does to Mr. Steve while he's speaking exactly the same thing James Corden did to Patrick Stewart.
Oh, I see.
Yes, cutting
Please.
me off.
Sorry, any resemblance between me and James Corden, I take great offence.
Although I don't take great offence at being likened to Patrick Stewart.
Well, you do have some similarities.
Bald head, yes. Thespian.
Sorry?
Thespian.
Oh, thespian.
Thespian.
I thought you said lesbian.
No, thespian.
Good.
15 degrees, says VTAS. It's just warm everywhere. We're saving energy, you know. We're saving energy. So Putin's plan to destroy Europe by restricting energy supplies isn't working because we haven't been using much.
Do you know what the end of your sentence is going to be when you're talking?
What?
So, do you know? Are you aware of what you're going to say as you're constructing sentences?
No, often I just open my mouth and talk, and then hopefully a coherent sentence will come out.
How do we get from ladybirds to whatever Mr. Steve was just talking about? Because it's a lovely day, by the way. It's a lovely day, but it's going to get wet this week. We're going to have rain every day this week, and I'm not happy about it. 22
degrees in Italy.
Very nice. Yes, it's quite pleasant. Well, it's nice here today. I mean, behind there it is. That's now. That's outside right now. So that's not a recording over there. That's now. Everything there is now. The trees and even the traffic going by. If you look carefully, you'll see maybe a car or a lorry or a bus going by.
How about ladybird?
No ladybirds.
Ladybirds.
I don't know where they've gone.
No, we normally get a bit of a plague.
Where have all the ladybirds gone?
We normally get a plague of them around this time of the year, and we have to be careful to keep the windows shut because they come in and hibernate in all the window frames, and then in the spring they all come back to life. They're flying all in the room.
They all resurrect, do they?
They do, yes. But you accidentally squash them as you shut the window.
Good.
They like to get inside in the door frames. You remember that one year they were just all over the windows?
Yeah.
It was literally a plague.
A plague.
Like a plague of locusts, which if we did have a plague of locusts would be quite good because we could catch the locusts and eat them. The Bible talks a lot about plagues of locusts, doesn't it?
What? Yes. Well, it talks about a lot of things.
So I would have thought, so really, yes, the locusts eat all the crops, which is bad. Yeah. But all you've got to do is catch the locusts and eat them, and you've recycled the crops, haven't you?
I have no. Are you okay?
Well, no, but that's true. I've just thought of that.
Do I need to call a doctor
live on air
or a priest?
I just thought of how to solve that. If you get a plague of locusts,
yes,
eating all your crops, you think, oh my goodness, all my crops have been eaten by locusts. What am I going to do? All you've got to do is catch the locusts and eat them. So the locusts have eaten the crops. They've turned the crops into protein. You eat the locusts. You're probably better off than the crops, to be honest, because there's more protein in the locusts. So that's it. Nothing to fear about a plague of locusts. anymore.
That might be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Well, they should have done that in biblical times.
What? Are you okay? Are you converting to Christianity or
I
something?
think I am a bit, actually. It's all since my mum and going to the church service and everything. Makes you think, doesn't it, about, what's coming after.
What? After what? What? After the live stream? A cup of tea, I hope. I hope there's a cup of tea coming after the live stream.
After the end.
The end of the live stream, yes.
The end of life as we know it.
Oh, shut up. Marilda. Hello, Marilda Kuhnhaar. Hello to you, and nice to see you here on this beautiful autumn day here in England. Very nice to see you. Hello, Asta. I regularly watch your English Addict recorded videos, but today I am enjoying the live stream more.
It's always better live.
It's always better in real time. And we are, of course, here with you every Sunday. So every Sunday, not sometimes, not like other people on YouTube who sometimes do a live stream and then they can't be bothered because it's too much hard work. We are here every single Sunday. Every Sunday.
Resolute, determined, loyal to our lovely viewers.
We are always upright and ready to go.
Apart from when something unforeseen happens.
Well, of course, yes.
Then you must excuse us because life sometimes comes to surprise you. Talking of surprises, I was talking to a friend of mine in Birmingham last night who's very keen to appear on your live stream.
No.
Well,
you are only allowed to appear on here if you bring something useful and fun.
I think he would.
Okay.
We can discuss that after the live stream. Or maybe we can discuss it now, have a big argument, which will be very amusing for everybody to watch.
Not, what, an argument? No, there's no argument because I just say no.
It is you are the boss.
I am the boss. I'm in charge. I have authority here. It's the only place in the world where I actually have authority.
That is true.
Everywhere else, people just spit at me.
Walk all over you.
They walk all over me. Not literally, fortunately.
That's a saying, isn't it?
It is an expression.
An expression. If somebody walks all over you, it means that they're getting the better of you.
They treat you badly.
They treat you badly. They take
dissing
you.
They take advantage of you.
Yes.
So maybe they are a person who is living with you or maybe married to you, and they treat you badly. Quite often, actually, wives.
Ooh.
Wives can sometimes walk all over their husbands. We've met many married couples like this, and the man is like he's all hello, nice to meet you, and the wife is yes, hello, yes. I tell him what to do. I walk all over him.
Yes, a lot of wives do choose husbands that they can dominate in certain cultures.
Nice.
I don't think it would work in certain parts of the world.
Okay.
But if you want a wimpy husband, ladies,
yes,
come to the UK because there's plenty of them here.
We call them cooks.
Pardon?
Cooks.
Cooks.
Yes, I can't say what it means because I would be taken immediately off air. But it's C-U-C-K, and it's two words that are joined together. I'm sure you can think of what the first word is.
Oh, is it cuckold?
No.
Yes.
What? No, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
If a wife is, because I remember when I was playing The King of Siam, there was a line I had to say, I am cuckold in my own palace. So in other words, somebody who's sort of,
has
dominated in some way or has been emasculated.
It has nothing to do with that. It is a combination of two words, one of them very rude words.
Well, let's not think about
the
that.
rudest word that exists. But yes, you sometimes find this. A person will walk over another person. They treat them badly or take advantage of them.
That's not very nice. No, well, it's all relationships work in different ways. So whatever is good for you.
They do.
But of course, there are many men. I mean, traditionally. I mean, when I say traditionally, it's probably not the right word.
Traditionally.
But when I think of my mother and father, see, Dad was the dominant one in that relationship.
Yes.
Because men used to be the they were the breadwinners. They went out to work. Working in the factory, the woman was at home looking after the children, cooking, and culturally, men had that dominant position. But that has changed.
In some places, it still is that.
Well, exactly.
In some cultures or countries.
And, there are riots going on in various countries, in particularly one particular country at the moment.
Yes, we're talking about that later on, by the way. We are talking about protesting later on, a little while from now. But yes, there are many ways of expressing the dominance of one person over another.
Christina's on fire today on this live stream.
Hello, Christina.
Yes, she's sending loads of messages, and here's a nice one. I'm eating chocolate with marzipan during this live stream.
That's a very interesting combination.
Yes. Chocolate and marzipan.
I never think of chocolate and marzipan going together. They don't seem like they would be suitable for each other.
Are they combined into something, or have you got a block of marzipan and a block of chocolate, and you're just taking bites out of each one? Or is it some kind of sweet where the chocolate is wrapped in marzipan? We need more details, Christina.
It is something I can't eat much of, marzipan. It has a very strong, pungent taste. It's made from almonds, isn't it?
It is.
Almonds, yeah.
Almonds and sort of, I don't know what else, maybe a bit of wheat, I don't know.
It's made from almonds and other things. Willian, Steve?
Yes.
Willian on the live chat says cockroaches are hard to kill. And yes, you are right. Because apparently, after a nuclear war, do you remember the story years ago? They said that only cockroaches would be left in any area that had nuclear weapons dropped on or near.
Yes.
And only cockroaches would survive. That's all there would be left. Very interesting.
I was reading something. There's lots of stories on the internet at the moment about how to survive a nuclear blast.
I don't think there is a way.
Well, shrink yourself down to a cockroach size.
Yeah. Or hide. Maybe you could cover yourself in cockroaches.
Yes.
You could get cockroach.
That's a good idea.
Yes, that's what I'm saying now, the good idea that I have. You could cover yourself in cockroaches. And then that's it. You could get them all to crawl onto you and then just stand very still.
Train them, you mean?
Yes, train them. Or just put something on your body that cockroaches like. Maybe some smelly old meat. Or maybe some out-of-date McDonald's. And the cockroaches will all go over you. Yes. And then you stand just very still while the cockroaches
position
themselves and get comfortable.
Act as a radiation shield.
Yes. And then kaboom. And then you just wait. And you go, oh, get off. Just get off. And then you're okay.
Protected.
Yes.
What a good idea.
Yeah.
That wasn't one of the strategies that was mentioned in several articles I've been reading about. Mainly, it's stay indoors for at least 72 hours and go to the centre of the house.
Yeah.
But cockroaches did not come up. But that is worth mentioning. I'm going to find that article because I'm doing this a lot now.
Are you?
I'm reading articles.
What, thinking about nuclear war?
Well, I'm reading articles on the internet and then I'm making comments.
Okay.
It's a bit of a dangerous thing to do because you could say something that could get you into trouble. But if I read another article about how to survive a nuclear attack, I'm going to say that in the comments section. That's a very good idea, Mr. Duncan.
Okay.
Cover yourself in cockroaches.
Yes, just get cockroaches to crawl all over you and then wait. You've got to be very still because you can't let the cockroaches fall off or else that's it. Game over. So you've got to keep very still and get the cockroaches to stay on you.
Olga? Well, here's an idea. Now, Olga's given us an idea now.
Oh, okay.
I once sewed a costume of cockroaches for my son for a school show.
Yes.
So that's it. You don't have to train them. You can just kill a lot of cockroaches, sew them onto a garment,
Okay.
you know, your favourite trousers and a shirt,
Yeah.
and then they act as this radiation shield.
Do you have to put them down your underpants, though? I'm not sure if I want a large cockroach in my underwear.
Depends whether you want to, you know, have a baby or not.
What?
Well, because you need protection for your seed.
I thought there was a great joke coming up there, but no. Nothing.
What you mean? You wouldn't need a very large cockroach
No.
to cover that part of your body?
No.
What was the joke then?
No. I don't know what the joke was, but I thought you would come up with one.
Well, I just did.
You did not.
Yes, that's it. Right, yes. Nitram says, put yourself into a fridge.
Someone's been. Yes, I know what you've been watching Indiana Jones. That's what you've been watching. The Indiana Jones movie, the latest one, where they had the the stupid aliens. Can you believe it? Who would have thought that Indiana Jones would end up having to fight aliens? What a stupid idea.
That does sound pretty stupid.
It was made. It was a movie. It was an actual movie. Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. They find an artifact that looks suspiciously like an alien's head. And everyone knew straight away it was an alien. It's an alien. And everyone... But in the movie, they go, ooh, what could it be? What could this large, strange-shaped skull be? And everyone was going, it's an alien. We can see it's an alien. It's aliens, isn't it? And at the end, they go, oh, my goodness. Oh, no, it's aliens. But we already knew because we could tell that the crystal skull was shaped exactly like an alien. That's stupid.
Is Harrison Ford in this movie?
He is.
Right. Okay.
They're making a new one.
Right.
Where I think the new one, they actually dig up Indiana Jones. He's actually one of the relics that they dig up.
According to William, scientists are making cyborg cockroaches.
They are.
So that they can control them. So you've got obviously some remote control and you're sort of, well, that's it. That's how to do it. That's how to get them all to climb over you during... Oh, anyway, let's not talk about nuclear attacks.
They call them digicocks. What?
Sounds rude, Mr. Duncan.
Well, that's what they call them on the website I was looking at anyway.
Right, okay. So what else are we talking about today?
What else are we talking about?
We've talked about the insects.
Yes, we have. We're talking now.
We don't want to eat them.
Now we are talking about another thing. Here is another subject coming up now, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this. Protests. Steve, everyone is getting angry. Everyone. Steve is getting angry. I'm getting angry.
Cockroaches are getting angry.
The cockroaches are not happy. They're not happy now after they've heard this. They'll all be hiding away because they might be being used as clothing. Protest is a great word. Sometimes people need to express their dissatisfaction. Would that be a good way of describing that?
Definitely.
Your I'm sure I'm having a stroke. Your dissatisfaction. So to protest is to vent one's dissatisfaction. To protest is to show your anger and disagreement. And quite often at the moment, there are many people protesting, and we've had it here. Many protests taking place connected to the environment, maybe the treatment of animals, maybe for those who are consuming animals in their diet, maybe they are eating meat. And yesterday we had lots of protests taking place around the country where people were going into supermarkets and they were just pouring milk everywhere on the floor in the supermarkets. And this has been going on for a while now. So it is a form of... Now, they normally describe this as direct action. So you are not just protesting, you are actually doing something against the thing that you are protesting about. Yeah?
Yes, there are always protests, aren't there? But for different things, and it's a democratic right that you are able to do this. Although there have been laws to try and curb that being introduced, and in certain other countries, they come down more harshly on protesters than others. We don't need to actually specifically mention particular events that have happened in the past where protesters get killed. People don't get killed here in the UK usually by protesting.
No, well, we don't do anything. Well, we don't do anything now.
They certainly do in other parts of the world.
Over the past few years, the way protesters in this country, in the UK, are treated when they protest is much different. So I remember that there were protests in the 1970s when people were going on strike, coal miners. And if you look on YouTube and search for coal miner protesters 1970s, you will see some of the harshest treatment of protesters. The police would chase them, they would beat them with their sticks, and they would spray water on them, and the violence would normally be part of that situation. So in the past, in this country, we would deal with protesters quite harshly, violently even. Over the years, everything has softened. So now, if you are in a supermarket protesting by damaging someone else's property, that you will probably get a little tap on the shoulder, and they'll say, "Excuse me, would you mind not destroying my supermarket?" And that's it. That's all you can do. You can't do anything else. If you do anything else, you will end up in trouble.
Yes, that's a problem. Litigation. So if police were to restrain somebody who's taking this direct action, as long as it's not against another person, then I think the police would intervene. But they've come under a lot of criticism. They've been sued. The police have got a very difficult job now because they've got to be very careful not to be seen as too heavy-handed. Heavy-handed, i.e., they are...
Well, they're handling things brutally.
Yes.
They're using brutality and violence towards the people protesting or the people that they feel are in the wrong. But here now, maybe here, a lot of people are saying that they've gone too far the other way, where now you can do anything and people will just stand back and allow you to do it. This is actually happening also in the United States, where a lot of police reforms over the years have made the enforcement of the law much harder. That there are moments where people are now walking into supermarkets and just looting the place, just taking what they want and then walking out, and no one can do anything about it. So it has almost become like that also in certain parts of the United States as well. So I suppose protesting is something that a person feels that they have the right to do. And I suppose you can always think of one thing, at least one thing, that you would like to protest about. Maybe you don't want to pay tax anymore. Maybe you want to go into the street and scream and shout, "I don't want to pay the tax anymore. I don't have enough money to get by and survive on." So there are many things, maybe laws, certain laws that are brought into place. They are brought forward and you object to them. But at the moment we have a lot of environmentalists and animal rights groups protesting in various ways. A couple of days ago there was 2 young girls. They threw tins of tomato soup over one of the most expensive paintings ever produced by Van Gogh.
Or was it Van Gogh?
It could be. It could be either.
We don't know.
It could be. So they threw the tomato soup over it and then they glued themselves to the wall.
Oh, I didn't see the gluing.
Yes, they glued themselves. Now this is what I would have done. I would have left them there. Just leave them there. So if someone is gluing themselves to something, Steve, just leave them there and see how long it takes before they think, "Oh, hang on a second. Oh, well, first of all, I'm a bit hungry and I need a wee-wee and a poopy and I've stuck myself to the wall. And see how long it takes for them to say, "Oh, excuse me, I think I may have made a mistake here because I've glued myself to the wall, and now I need to eat some food and have a wee and a poo-poo."
There's protests, according to Lewis, in Paris right now.
Oh.
Hundreds of thousands of people protesting from Nation Square to Republic Square. And a few people are asking, what are they protesting against? Do you know, Lewis? Are you protesting as well?
Can I just say...
Are you one of the protesters?
I think there's always a protest or a demonstration taking place in France, in Paris.
That is probably true.
I think it's hard now to know which group it is. Who is it this week? Is it the yellow vests, the blue vests, the pink vests, or the orange vests with yellow dots?
Are you protesting, Lewis? Have you ever protested? Has anyone who is watching today, have you ever protested against something? Something you believed in, maybe. And if you have, please tell us. We won't be judging you.
No.
We just want to know, what was it like? Did you get beaten up by the police? Did you get arrested?
Yes.
Have we ever protested? I don't think we have.
Well, I suppose we've been on marches.
Pride marches.
Yes, there are often pride marches that take place, but that was going back many years ago in the early 1990s, when the world, for us, was a very different place indeed. Very different. In fact, it was different for many people, and much better and much easier now. But I suppose we have in a way. But I suppose in a way, protesting is often seen now as being something that might be almost antisocial. So there are people blocking the roads, so the traffic has to stop. There are people now going into supermarkets and they are pouring the milk all over the floor as a protest. And that's what happened yesterday across the UK. So I suppose direct action is very different from just marching through the street with your signs saying, down with that sort of thing. Less of that. We don't want any more of that.
Maybe what we need is a protest outside YouTube headquarters for Mr. Duncan's channel, so that you get more viewers. Protesting against the algorithms, the unfairness of the algorithms.
The last time someone went to YouTube headquarters to protest, it did not end well.
That is true. They did go to extreme lengths to make their protests known.
Yes.
Let's just put it that way.
I wouldn't encourage anyone to do that.
No, we are not. Let me retract.
Yes.
And say that we are definitely not trying to get people to protest anywhere against anything.
No, please don't do it.
As long as it's peaceful.
Just stay at home, make a cup of tea and watch us.
Christina protested many years ago in a peaceful protest. Against what? Fatih says, we are protesting here in Morocco against the cost of living.
Yeah.
That's going to increase probably. Energy costs, food bills, inflation, everything's going up. Rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. And that's when you end up having riots, isn't it? When you get civil unrest.
Yeah, well, maybe a large group of people feel badly treated.
Yes.
So I think that's the most common reason why anyone protests, because you wouldn't normally do it. You wouldn't do it if you were having a bad day at work. You wouldn't go into the street and start protesting over that. But if maybe you feel as if your civil liberties or maybe the way you're treated has become too harsh, maybe you will. So we could probably name one place at the moment in Iran. So Iran at the moment, many protests taking place for various reasons, and many people unhappy with the government. But also I think in there as well, there is, again, another way in which the cost of living and certain groups of people are now being pushed aside. So I think in that situation, it's quite complex.
People have had enough. And when people, because, in countries like Iran, it's very dangerous to protest because, you'll end up dead, which a lot of people have.
That's it. Well, the freedom to protest, which I suppose is a good thing to mention quickly, the freedom to do it.
So, if you are willing to lay your life down to protest against something, then you must really strongly believe in it. Of course, they've had protests in Iran before, but they've never really come to anything. But they seem to be a bit more sustained, a bit more serious this time.
Yes.
I mean, we know why, but yes.
The one I was going to mention is here in the UK many years ago, the equal rights for women to allow them to vote. And there were actually women who were dying, literally dying. There is one famous event where the lady who was protesting, she threw herself in front of the Queen's horse during a race and she died.
Yes.
And that brought all of that to the attention of the government and the media at that time. And it did eventually create changes which allowed women to have equal rights and have the vote. So sometimes drastic action is carried out, which is what's happening at the moment with the protesters who are going into the supermarkets and pouring the milk everywhere. I'm not sure if I agree with throwing tomato soup over a priceless painting. I'm not sure if that achieves sympathy or maybe just more people ignoring them.
Yes. They're just trying to get attention to their cause, which is basically, as we've discussed, they don't like people eating animals. But, we won't go into the pros and cons of that.
Another one, of course, is during the Vietnam War in the United States. A lot of terrible things happened during that time. Not in Vietnam. Things were really bad there. But also in the United States, the way protesters were treated as well. So it was very heavy-handed and people were killed.
They were accused of being communist, weren't they? They protested against the Vietnam War. Lewis says, I protested against the war in Iraq, which, as we know, and as Lewis mentioned, was a war based on lies. They murdered hundreds of thousands of people based on lies. Yes, they did. They did. And we've got, allegedly.
Yes. Yes.
It looks like it's certainly.
Can we just choose our words carefully, Steve?
Lewis said that.
Yes.
Lewis said it, not us.
Lewis said it.
Yes.
We are just here as a conduit.
That's it. We're just repeating what Lewis said.
That's it.
Lewis Mendez, who lives in Paris. I'm only joking. Yeah. But yes, if you feel strongly about something, then you protest against or for that.
So another word you can use is demonstrate. You protest, you demonstrate, you show your dissatisfaction by going out or by taking some sort of action. But I think the most common form of protest is marching, normally with banners, or maybe you will meet in a certain area or a certain place and you will vent or you will show your dissatisfaction.
This is the argument that Putin is making at the moment. Now, I'm not not siding one way or the other, but he is pointing out the hypocrisy of Western countries who invade other countries, like the Iran war that Lewis was protesting against, Iraq, and end up killing hundreds of thousands of innocent people. Because often it's not the necessarily military targets that are just targeted. It's often the civilian populations that suffer.
All wars lead to collateral damage, things that are not the target, but they still become affected.
Although quite often they're deliberately targeted, which is what's happening in Ukraine, isn't it?
Yes. Well, we're not here to say what is what. We are here to moderate. We are the conduit.
Well, we can give our opinions.
Not the judge and jury. But it is interesting. I always find these things interesting anyway, when you see people taking action and how these things actually come to be. How do they come to be what they are? How do people arrange it nowadays? Certainly when people are going to a certain place to protest, there must be something that the authorities can see or they can sense that things are happening. Maybe a large group of people are meeting somewhere. But of course, nowadays in London, you can't protest. You can't. It is illegal. It's recently become law where any form of protest can be stopped by the police. Any form. So if I upset someone in the street because I'm unhappy with something, I could be dragged away and detained. So this is actually just changed. This is a law that's just been introduced. So now you need lots of permission, various types of permission, and you have to make sure that thing will be controlled, that protest will be controlled. But and this has happened recently, and a lot of people are not happy about that.
No, so Lewis is saying that he's against all wars, and of course, nobody wants a war.
I think we all are.
But unfortunately, it's the psychopaths that get in charge of.
Okay, I'm so glad that you're tempering your thoughts.
Yeah, well, it is. It's psychopaths that get into power.
Mm-hmm.
In different parts of the world, that then decide they want to do something, and then they rile up their populations to and lie to them in order to get them. I mean, this is what religion used to do, isn't it?
Some might say it still does.
Well, that's it. Yes, religion is used to control people.
Yeah.
Because some lunatic in charge wants some extra land for himself.
This is Steve saying these things, by the way.
Well, I'm saying it. Yeah.
Could you please address your fatwas to Mr. Steve?
Well, I'm not on about particular religions. I'm just saying generally. I'm talking generally.
Okay.
Generally, Mr. Duncan.
Generally.
That's what happens. Somebody gets into power, and they're psychopaths, and then they want something like somebody else's land, or somebody's got more gold or oil or crops or something, and they want that, so they then manipulate the population into going to war, getting killed, so that they can get that particular bit of land back.
So, like the British used to do.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I'm talking generally, Mr. Duncan.
Oh, no.
I'm talking, this is what happens throughout history.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
Nobody wants, ordinary people don't want war.
Right.
It's only the idiots in charge.
Okay, Steve, you gotta know when to end the sentence.
So that's my solution for world peace.
Well,
Don't let psychopaths get in charge of governments.
You do realise that most countries around the world are run by someone who has some sort of narcissism.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Any country.
It should be like some world law that you're tested for these narcissistic tendencies, and you're not allowed to get into power.
That doesn't sound like democracy to me, though.
Well, it is democracy, but you don't want somebody in power who is a lunatic, do you?
Okay.
That would solve all the world's problems.
Not sure if you've got democracy right there, but
no, you can vote, but you can't vote. You can't. The prerequisite is they're all the candidates. You test them all. Right. You get a psychologist to test them all, and you're psychopaths. You can't.
Yes, but I might want a psychopath.
No, but you don't, because they're going to do bad things.
No, but a lot of people do like psychopaths being in charge. They like to be told what to do.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yes.
People like to be led sometimes.
Yes.
People don't want to think for themselves. They want people to tell them what to do.
Exactly.
But it should be somebody like an overlord, maybe an alien, who can prevent all these psychopaths getting into power.
Yes, I think I need to show you the word democracy in the dictionary afterwards, because it is.
I'm not against democracy,
okay,
Mr. Duncan. I'm against psychopaths getting into power.
Yes, some might say that is one and the same. Unfortunately,
I don't think so. Totally different.
Anyway, are we just going to carry on arguing about this stupid point forever? To protest, to go against the will of the government. Maybe some rules that you are not happy with, perhaps.
I'm going to protest against Mr. Duncan interrupting me on live streams.
I'm not interrupting you. I'm just
I'm joking.
Sometimes I have to just put the brakes on and let you just slow down slightly, because you go from here's my opinion to I'm now slightly insane.
Well, people are agreeing with me.
Yes, I didn't say they.
It's the trouble with psychopaths. They're charismatic. They have charisma, and people see. This is what's annoying me at the moment, Mr. Duncan. We have an opposition leader who's in the Labour Party, and what do you people? You keep hearing this all the time on the news when people think about him taking over from the Conservatives. What's his name? Can't remember his name now.
Well, you're talking about it.
I know, but I can't remember his name. I'm asking
okay.
you. The Labour leader. What's it? Keir Starmer.
Okay.
And people say, "Oh, we don't want him in charge. He's boring." That's what they keep saying. "Oh, he's boring."
Okay.
Well, I'd rather have someone who's boring but competent at the job than some psychopathic lunatic with charisma who's rubbish at the job. I don't understand how that's a criticism of somebody. You know, if he's boring, well, maybe he's very thoughtful and knows what he's doing and competent at the job, and he's not worried about his image. He's thinking about what's the best thing for the country.
Yes.
I bring back boring in politics, I say. People shouldn't just vote for someone. That's why people voted for Johnson, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, he's fun.
Steve,
he's a great laugh.
I might have to cut the live stream off if you don't.
But that is why people voted for. A lot of people, oh, he's great. Oh, he's a laugh.
Right,
he's a lad.
Steve.
But he was rubbish.
This is not what people have tuned in for today.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
You're coming across as a bit of a nutter, to be honest.
I'm not coming across as a nutter. I just want
you kind of are.
Competent people.
Yes.
In charge of countries.
You do realise that voting, you do understand what voting is, don't you? You vote for the most popular person.
Well, no, you vote for the person you want in charge.
Nope.
Well, yes,
no,
you do.
it isn't.
That's what we're doing.
Popularity is what people vote for. They're voting for the most popular person. When there's a talent show and someone votes for
politics.
Yes, I'm on about anything. Any form of voting
well, you vote for
is
the
voting for the
want,
most,
don't you?
Yes.
Well, that's the problem. People vote for people with charisma in politics.
And they are popular.
And that's the wrong thing. You should be voting. You shouldn't be looking at those qualities in a person.
Okay, then.
When you're voting for a politician, you want to be thinking about, well, could they be good at the job?
Unfortunately.
And unfortunately, people are swayed by...
It is, yes, but it's never been like that.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just making a point. That's what you should be voting for. Yeah, well, is that person good at the job? Not, is he a laugh? Is he charismatic?
All right, calm down.
I protest, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, it's always...
I protest.
Oh, my goodness. So you say something, but no one can put a counter-argument.
No.
But J.F. Kennedy was one of the most corrupt and crooked people ever. And yet he's still regarded as this god and this angel, and yet he was not a particularly nice person. He was having affairs. He had some disability that he hid, and well, to be honest, he wasn't a particularly nice person.
Well, he did avert a Third World War.
But that, yes. Well, I'm not saying he didn't. At no point did I say he didn't. Yeah, your point is pointless.
It's not.
It's not what I'm saying.
My only point is, if you're voting for a politician, you want somebody who's competent at the job.
Yes.
You don't want to be looking at... And this is the problem. You hear people...
No, it isn't the problem. No, it's just the way things are.
I know it's the way things are, but it shouldn't be. You shouldn't be voting for somebody because they've got charisma. You should be voting for somebody because they're good at the job. You think they'd be good, competent. You know, what's their background?
Yes.
If you've got a chancellor in charge of the money, you want somebody who's studied that and they know what they're doing.
Is anyone there still? Are you still there?
Yeah.
Yes, we are teaching. Sorry, we are teaching English. I don't know what's going on over here. I don't know what this is.
Well, you talked about protests, and that's what I'm doing.
Yes. Protests. So that's to do with what? That has nothing to do with protests. What? Politics has always been crooked, corrupt, and sinister. It always has, and it always will. There you go. Deal with it.
Next subject, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, all right. Well, yes.
We're still talking about protests.
I don't know what we're on about now.
Well, you're in control. You're the boss. You're in charge.
Okay.
Just making my point, that's all, Mr. Duncan.
Is anyone still watching?
Yes, they are.
Sorry, YouTube, if just in case anyone's accidentally watching this on YouTube, or they're from YouTube, this is not what we normally do.
It is. It's what we do.
Yes.
Well, you said the other night we've got to start arguing so that people watch us.
I didn't say that. That was not what I said. I said what YouTube likes, which is not the same as what you just said. What YouTube likes is people arguing and bringing up controversial subjects that then gets other people leaving comments and arguing the opposite,
No.
which then gets views. And that's the way YouTube works nowadays. It's all about argument and violence and aggression and disagreement and polarizing groups. So they all fight amongst each other. They fight, and then they all go to the video and leave their comments. And then you get thousands of people doing it. And then suddenly the video gets thousands of views and millions of views. And that's how you do it.
Or maybe this will happen today.
But we're not trying to do that.
I know we're not trying to do it.
I don't want to do that.
Maybe we'll go viral, Mr. Duncan.
We are never... You are so naive.
I'm just talking, Mr. Duncan. I'm just
We are
talking.
never, ever going to go viral.
Unless we go and protest somewhere against
Yeah. I think,
algorithms which we believe are very unfair.
yeah. Okay, Steve.
Which we've talked about before on this very channel.
Well, we talked about this. There are millions of people around the world talking about this, and it makes no difference. Sorry, but it doesn't.
But you've still got to protest, haven't you? Because if you do it enough,
Yeah.
eventually things change.
Well, I'm talking about YouTube now. I'm not on about other protests. You just mentioned YouTube. It doesn't make any difference.
Well, they're like a dictatorship, aren't they?
It doesn't make any difference.
They're a dictatorship.
You can't
They
change
have
it.
no rules.
Yes, okay. You've just said that. why you repeat?
Well, you said that as well.
Yes.
Anyway, right, all right, Mr. Duncan. Reset. Press the reset button.
Okay. Right. I wish I could go back in time. About 32 years. Whew.
Keep your comments coming in. We love to read your comments. The more, the better. Did you like the dinner today?
Did anyone understand what just happened? Because I might have to watch it later.
I would.
What? Watch it later.
Well, yeah, all right. Move on, Mr. Duncan. Wife asks her husband, "Did you like the dinner today?" Husband replies, "Really, Shirley? Why are you always trying to pick a fight?" I know that's a joke, Vitas, but I don't quite get it.
Well, because she's saying something that he's clearly not going to agree on. How was the meal? Obviously, her cooking is terrible, and she's raised a subject that is going to cause conflict.
So he can't possibly say, "I didn't like it," because that will...
Well, he wants to say he didn't like
That's
it.
what I mean. He
which will
can't
then-
say it.
Which will then cause an argument.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, yeah, so in other words, yeah. Oh, it's rubbish.
So there
Yeah.
it is. There's the joke. How to dismantle and take apart a joke.
Oh,
So it is no longer funny.
Keep the jokes coming, Vitas. We need fun, laughter, hilarity.
Yes.
Have you got something you want to put up on the screen, Mr. Duncan?
I have. I've got something I want to take down from the screen. Can you guess what it is?
No. Hurry up then, Mr. Duncan. Do you want me to eat a banana? The rest of my banana?
Put something in your mouth.
Do you want me to eat the rest of my banana?
Yes,
and,
eat
and
it.
not talk for a while?
Yes, eat it. By the way, I am back on Wednesday, and the good news is...
I'm here as well.
Can I just say you are definitely not here on Wednesday, or possibly ever again. Hard and easy. Are you a hard man? Hard.
I'm hard.
Okay. Why is that? A reference to something?
Yes, it just
Oh.
means that you're a tough person.
Yeah.
Hard and easy. All right, hard and easy words and phrases. Right, I get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not referring to phrases and words that are hard or easy to say, but actual things connected to hard as a word and easy as a word.
Somebody just said my pen keeps changing colour, and I've just realised it's because I'm holding up a green pen.
I don't know what's wrong with you at the moment. You're
I'm not. I'm just,
you're so fidgety.
because of your green screen, you see, it's all going weird. So I'll hold up a non-green
Yes,
pen,
yes.
and then it won't have any effects.
There you go. I've just solved that problem easily.
I'd solved it anyway.
Just throw it away.
Well, I'd solved it myself.
Just throw it away.
Thank you for that, Olga. We don't want any technical surprises or things that make people think, what is going on in Mr. Duncan's live stream today? Why is that pen changing colour? It's distracting me.
That is the least of our worries today.
Yes.
It's more about what's going on with Mr. Steve.
Duchess says, that's a very direct question, Duchess. How old are you?
How old am I?
That's,
Yes, well, can I answer the question? 50. What's wrong with you? I'm talking now.
You've aged 10 years in the last 5 minutes.
No. I'm 57. Does that answer your question? Is that better? Do you feel better now you know that? I'm 57 years old and Mr. Steve is 61.
Don't forget Olga to say he doesn't look it because he'll get upset. Oh, you don't look 57.
I couldn't care less anymore. You know what? I couldn't care less. When I wake up in the morning, I get out of bed and I take my T-shirt and my shorts off. I look down and I just think, oh well, it's over. I might as well just enjoy myself.
I'm not sure what you are referring to, Mr. Duncan.
Everything that I look down upon. When I look down in the morning, I just go,
well, you need to do more exercise.
No, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm just going to enjoy myself. I'm going to have the occasional walk to keep fit. But I'm going to not say, oh, don't eat chocolate ever again and don't have fun. I am.
Well, I don't want to be left with a sick person that I've got to wheel around in a wheelchair because you've let yourself go and become unfit.
You won't have to worry about that because I will be using my little electronic mobile buggy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I'm getting one of those, you see. I can't wait. I keep seeing all these elderly people in Much Wenlock going around the streets on their little rascals.
I think this is a little odd.
It isn't odd.
Mr. Duncan is looking forward to the day when he can go in a wheelchair.
Yeah, well, not a wheelchair. That's a different thing altogether.
A buggy.
You do know the difference between a wheelchair and a mobility scooter.
But nevertheless, they're both bad signs, aren't they?
No,
they're both saying your health is on the decline.
A wheelchair, you have to push yourself.
Well, that would be quite good because you keep fit.
Yes.
You get a nice, strong upper body.
But I don't want one of those. I want an electric mobility scooter so I can go around Much Wenlock and terrorise everyone.
My future is mapped out and it doesn't look good.
I can't wait to do it. It's weird, isn't it? It is a strange thing that I think about quite often when I see elderly people in Much Wenlock and they're going around the streets on those little scooters, and I can see myself on one, creating havoc wherever I go, and there is nothing anyone can do about it. It's
Lewis
brilliant.
is going not to protest.
I'm not surprised.
Are you going because you're protesting against the direction that this live stream has taken? No, Lewis is going, but he'll watch the rest of the live stream later. Thank you very much for that. Don't forget, by the way, to like this live stream so that more people get to see this fascinating live stream. And also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's somewhere down there, isn't it, Mr. Duncan?
Down where?
Where the subscribe button is.
It's down there. Yes, it's down there somewhere.
And click the little bell icon.
Yes.
Otherwise, you won't get notified of Mr. Duncan's upcoming, fascinating, riveting live streams.
Yes, I feel a hint of sarcasm there.
No.
By the way, Steve, shut up a minute.
By the way, Connell says you don't look a day over 40. You got that.
I just don't care. I just don't care. At English Addict, there is a new thing now on YouTube called Handles.
Oh.
And now we have a direct way of finding my lessons and also contacting me here on YouTube. At English Addict is all you need to know. That's all you need to know to find anything or to look at my videos or find my channel. It's much easier, it's faster, and it's a brand new thing.
So what do you do with that? You type that in somewhere?
Well, I've just literally said the things I've just said there.
Well, I wasn't listening. I was looking at the live stream. So some people could have been looking at the comments and not been listening. So I think you ought to repeat it for those of us who were distracted in that moment.
Can I just say there are some changes coming soon to this show?
You're not getting rid of me, are you, Mr. Duncan?
Well, it's It's
Oh,
on.
please.
It,
Please keep me on your live streams, Mr. Duncan.
it's on my list. It's on my list. Of
How can I make it up to you?
Yes, I'm thinking of going alone, like Joe Rogan.
So, to repeat again, you just type at English Addict.
Yes, it's a handle.
Anywhere
It literally is a thing that you
in
use.
the search bar
No, you're not in the search bar.
on YouTube.
Yes, anywhere. Even
On YouTube.
even outside YouTube.
That's what I mean. A search bar
anywhere.
like
Anywhere.
on Google or something like that.
Anywhere.
Yeah, good. That's,
Yes.
just
The,
need to
the word
understand.
anywhere should be enough to tell you that it's anywhere.
Good.
Hence the word anywhere. So yes, from Wednesday I'm going to go Joe Rogan. I'm going that. So I'm going to sit at a desk with a big neon sign behind me with my name on that says Mr. Duncan, and I'm going to call it the Mr. Duncan Experience. And every week I talk about controversial subjects, and I have a special guest in the studio, such as Elon Musk smoking marijuana, something like that, to get publicity. So that's it. That's what I have to do now to get views on YouTube. I've got to go 100% Joe Rogan. And Mr. Steve is thinking, I have no idea who that person is.
I've heard of him. Maybe I could, with my thespian skills.
No.
Maybe I could just dress up and sort of imitate that particular person.
No.
No. Okay. Right. Fine.
I would rather you didn't. To be honest. So that's it. From Wednesday, it's the Mr. Duncan Experience. English Addict will still be the name of my channel, but it will be the Mr. Duncan Experience. Every week, every Wednesday, I sit down with a panel of experts and guests. Elon Musk, Joe Biden will be one of my guests.
How about the ex-chancellor?
The ex-chancellor, Kwasi Kwarteng, will be one of my first guests, and I will be asking him, what the hell were you thinking of, you silly man?
Yes. Thank you, Connell. Thank you for Mr. Duncan's compliment, and he did like it. You don't look a day over 40.
I did like it, but to be honest with you, I don't care. I really don't care. You know what I haven't seen for a long time? I haven't seen the back of me. Because you never look, do you? You never look at the back of you. No, not you. You're looking at the back of me.
I know.
You understand?
It was a joke,
Oh, I
Mr.
see.
Duncan. Yes.
But I haven't seen the back of me for a long
Do you want
time.
me to tell you what it looks like?
No, I don't want you to tell me because I don't trust you. But it is strange. So if you ever get the chance, you have to have a mirror in front of you, but also you have to have a mirror behind you. And it's very hard to actually look at yourself from behind with a mirror. So I'm trying to find a way of doing that because I haven't looked at the back of me for a long time. And by the back of me, I mean naked. Because it's interesting, isn't it? But the front, I'm so used to this. Every morning I get out of bed and I look down and I go, oh dear. But I'm hoping, see, this is it. There's something positive coming, Steve. I'm hoping that the back looks really good. So the front won't matter anymore. So what I will do just in the morning, I will stand in front of 2 mirrors and look at the back, because that might still be very nice. Because when I was younger, I used to have a very sexy bum. So I'm hoping that my bum will still look lovely, and that will be the thing that I will focus on every day to make me feel better about myself. So my self-esteem is better, because the front now is just wrecked. It's destroyed. It's like an old building that's been weathered and all the brickwork has fallen off and some of the windows have fallen out.
But you could renovate, Mr. Duncan. You could renovate.
But the back, I don't know, you see. So I might explore and have a look at the back next week. I'll get some mirrors and I'll have a look and see if that looks all right. And then that might be the thing that will just make me feel more confident.
But what happens, Mr. Duncan, if you use that mirror and discover that, your bottom's gone flat?
Well, this is it. It might look like
you've got spots all over your back.
It might look like 2 strings of bacon hanging down.
Exactly.
Because that's what happens to your bum as you get older. It just hangs like 2 pieces of bacon. So I don't know, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. I'm willing to take that risk.
I don't know why you've started this conversation, Mr. Duncan.
I didn't start. No, I was just talking about age. someone asked my age,
Yes.
and then I said, "Oh, I don't care anymore," because when I look down in the morning, I see just all of that, and I just don't care anymore.
The thing is, you
But then I thought maybe I could cheer myself up by looking at the back of me, because I haven't seen that for a long time.
well, maybe you could show everybody else.
No, I
Maybe
don't want to
that
show
would,
anyone anything. No one is seeing any part
more
of.
viewers.
No one is seeing any part of my body.
By the way, Olga says that if you don't let me on the live stream, she's going to protest.
Are you? Where?
Thank you.
Where are you going to protest?
Yes, where? That is a good question.
Where?
Well, maybe on this live stream, by constantly saying, let Mr. Steve back on the live streams. But maybe there might be people that don't want me on the live streams. I don't know.
Yes. That might be a larger number than you think.
Well, I hope not.
We'll
I
have a
hope
vote. I tell you what, we'll do it the democratic way. 1 week we will have a poll, as it were. We will vote. We will let people vote on whether Mr. Steve stays.
Well, Mosen says he wants both of us, so that's good to know.
That's encouraging for me. And please,
But we're only just having fun. We're not really arguing. Well, we are actually, aren't we? Yes.
You
We're
want
not
to see
going to
him
speak to each other now for the rest of
later
the
on.
night.
He's going to sulk for the rest of the
No,
day.
I'm not. I'm not going to sulk at all.
He
I'm
does.
going to be perfectly agreeable.
Sometimes when we finish our live streams, he goes upstairs and he sits in the corner of the room. And
Sometimes.
with his hands folded.
Not today, though.
Like this.
Not today.
Why did you say that? Why did you say that on the live stream? You've hurt me.
Well, he does sometimes. He does hurt me sometimes. But not today. Not today. I'm chilled out. I'm not working. And I've got to... That's something I've got to start from Monday, Mr. Duncan, is getting a new routine.
Yes.
Because if I don't get into a new routine... I did have a bit of a job interview on Friday, Mr. Duncan.
Does your new routine include being not annoying all the time? Don't talk about your job interview. We don't care about that.
People might.
You're not getting a job anyway. Why would you retire? Why would you finish the job that you've been doing for years and years and years, and you've given the best years of your life?
I have.
Why would you then want to take another job on, which will just eventually become the same thing?
I don't know. For the money. So that we can carry on living here, Mr. Duncan.
Okay then.
In our relative peacefulness. No, I'm only joking.
What?
But yeah, no. Why does anyone work
You
for
don't
the
need.
money?
You can sleep. You can sleep in a town park on a bench at night, and it's very peaceful.
You could sleep in your electric buggy,
Yes.
couldn't you?
Yes.
You just put a waterproof sheet over you,
Yes. Okay.
tarpaulin.
What?
Can you get buggies for two?
I'm hoping not. No, there will only be one passenger, and that'll be me. And
Where do I go?
You don't go anywhere. You'll
nice.
be in your rocking chair at home.
So when are you contemplating getting this electric buggy? What's the time scale?
I was thinking 60.
Oh, good grief.
60. I think I might work up to it. So I need to be in a certain state of disrepair. My body needs to at least appear to be unhealthy by the time I'm 60, so I can get myself one of these mobility scooters and go around Much Wenlock. People think I'm joking, but I'm not. I literally, whenever I see a person on one of those little mobility scooters, I think I want one of those. I want to do that. I don't want to walk around the streets all day, going in and out of shops, my legs getting tired. I want to just drive around on a little machine.
I'm now feeling Tom X pain.
Are you?
God damn it, he says. He's got an IT problem.
Oh.
And there is nothing, believe me, there is nothing on this earth that infuriates me more.
Well, he's having difficulty singing.
What does that mean?
I can't sing into my account.
Sign in, I think is what...
I think it might be sign there.
Sign in.
Yeah. So maybe singing is the problem. Maybe you're singing to your computer. So maybe instead you need to sign in with your keyboard.
How would you spell that, Mr. Duncan?
SIGN.
Oh, so the N and the G were around the wrong way. But I mean, I wasn't going to point that out.
Well, I am, because I'm an English teacher.
That's true. You can do it. Yes, the 2 letters around the wrong way. Never mind. I feel Tomek's pain because, as you know, what used to make me lose my temper more than anything else...
Well, everything.
Okay, more than anything else.
More than everything.
Okay, so I lose my temper at most things. But what would make me more infuriated than anything else, more angry, more upset... IT issues.
Yes, technology.
Technology.
You don't like it.
Work systems not working. Too many passwords to put in, and then they don't tell you, and you need to put the new password. You've got to keep changing them all. If you forget, then you lock you out of your...
Yes, okay, Steve. You are making my argument for you not working again.
Exactly.
Because if you take on a new job, I can guarantee within 2 or 3 days, they will send you lots of different types of technology, and you've got to use them in your new job. And then you'll have to learn new systems, and you'll have to use spreadsheets, and then you have to send the information, and sometimes the computer won't work, and you'll go back to where you were before. Do you want to do that?
No. Is IT Global Desk, is that your work system? Is that a work system? Sounds like it is to me. And of course it's Sunday, so they're all nobody's working, so Tomek won't be able to sort out this IT issue, but he probably wants to do something important for work. And I can your frustration. I feel that pain. I've been there many times. All I can say is iPads are more resilient than you think.
Yes. To impact.
To sudden impacts.
Yes. What I love about iPads, and you've probably noticed this, is you can throw them like frisbees.
We have dents. Shall we show this? I'm amazed over the years that I have not managed to break. I have literally hurled my work laptop and iPad, because we had both devices.
What the hell was that?
Annoyingly. What?
So it went past the window then.
Oh. I have literally hurled them at the wall and have taken plaster out of that wall.
That wasn't a dinosaur, was it? It just flew past the window. It was huge. Scared the life out of me.
Oh, I didn't see that. We'll have to play it back in slow motion later. So, yes, maybe we can show the dents in the wall in my office upstairs that when I lose my temper and literally hurl work devices at the wall, causing dents, but they don't break.
See, the thing is, Steve can say that now. You can say that now
because I've sent them back.
They can't sack you. Well, you don't work for them
anymore.
I
don't work for them anymore.
You don't work for the company.
Yeah, that's it. So has anybody... Yes, they are very robust, I've got to say. And my iPad, when I sent it back, if you look down the length of it, it was actually kinked.
Ooh.
Like that, because I've gone like that.
Yes.
And you can't break them. You can't snap them in half.
No, that's very good.
And I've, because of sheer frustration, because when I lose my temper, you don't want to be nearby. You don't want to be an IT device when I lose my temper.
He screams like a little girl.
Yes. But just to say, if you want to take it out on your iPad... frustration, they can withstand more stress than you think.
I'm sure people that own iPads have already worked that out for themselves, because I'm sure that anyone who has an electronic device like an iPad or an iPhone or a Samsung Galaxy Note or any of the other ones, because there are so many available nowadays, I'm sure we all know that they are very strong and robust.
Thank you, Rhubarb.
Who?
Rhubarb.
Hello, Rhubarb.
Have we seen Rhubarb before?
Never.
Hello, Rhubarb. What a lovely name.
I already want to vote. My vote is clear and firmly in favour of having Mr. Steve in the channel. Please vote now, all the viewers, to leave a message that is crystal clear to Mr. Duncan that our opinion is that Mr. Steve has to stay. Well, we will see. I need to see more than that. I need to see. I need unrest.
Yes.
I want to see cars being turned over.
Yeah, so Tomek's now gone very... Well, he's retracted his statement, but we've seen it and already commented on it.
I want to see shops.
How are you feeling mentally? Are you feeling really angry and frustrated?
I know I am.
Do you want to smash that IT device into smithereens? As I've said, I feel your pain. We all do.
You know, I haven't done the hard and easy words.
Really?
And it's 4:05.
It's 4:05. We've run over.
I wish somebody'd run over you.
Have you got time for the hard and easy
No,
words?
because there's about 30 of them.
Is that my fault?
It is your fault, yes. It is. It is your fault.
Well, yes, there we go. Well, yes. Are we going then, or are we staying on?
We'll stay a bit longer, shall we? Because I think today we're having a good time. I think Steve, I don't know why, maybe it's the shirt. I think this shirt has affected his brain because of all the bright colours. I think
the red.
It's made him all excited. So would you like us to continue for a bit longer? Put your hands up now. Would you like me to continue without Mr. Steve? Put your hands up now. Oh, a lot of people. I can see lots of hands going up everywhere on the earth.
So I need more energy to continue.
So the question I haven't asked, of course, is, would you eat insects?
No.
No. Oh, that was quick.
And I think most people are in agreement with that.
But what I think, and it's only my opinion as a simple, humble, shy man living the best life he can, even though things sometimes are so hard, times become desperate, and I sometimes curl up and think,
shall I go back and sell my arse on the street?
What's the point? What's the point? But then I snap out of it and I'm okay again and everything's lovely.
Have you snapped out of things now?
But I don't know, you see. I think I might in the future, if they can put insects into food without me knowing, because that's it, you see. That's it. That's the one.
Have you ever had a fly in your soup?
I've had a soup in my fly.
Because sometimes they reckon, they think that we accidentally swallow several spiders every year when we're asleep in bed.
Really? Where were you sleeping?
Well, because apparently, if you sleep with your mouth open, spiders crawl in and then you involuntarily swallow them.
That's the least of your worries of things going in your mouth at night.
Spiders, chance would be a fine thing. But yes, apparently we eat so many spiders a year. I don't know how true that is. Because if you sleep with your mouth open, say you've got a blocked nose and you sleep with your mouth open, spiders crawl in and you eat them. You don't realise you're doing it.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, I don't know, but apparently that does happen.
That means that there must be a certain number of people waking up every morning with a half-chewed spider in their mouth. And I don't think anyone's ever done that.
See, Tomek, you see, is so much... He's far advanced.
Yes, he's not angry. He doesn't get angry like you. You're just a big girl.
Yeah, but he did say, God damn it.
Yes, well, that's it.
So that was expressing a frustration.
That's it. But all he's doing is typing those words. He's not smashing his iPad to pieces like you.
I tried, but never succeeded because I hadn't got the strength.
Yeah.
But we will show those dents in my wall in maybe next week.
It is true.
I'm joking.
In Mr. Steve's office, there are holes, not dents. They're holes in the wall where Steve has thrown his iPad, and he's thrown it so hard that it's actually dented the wall.
I'm sorry, I have to admit it. And you literally, if you put the device against that, it would exactly match the dent in the wall.
Yeah, that's how angry he becomes. Can you see what I have to put up with? Because every week people come on here and they say, "Oh, Mr. Steve is so lovely. Mr. Steve is such a gentleman. He's so nice. If only you knew the truth."
But the thing is, I'm often provoked. You know, when people push you too far, then you eventually snap.
Well, you do.
And
But you're always snapped.
I snapped yesterday in a coffee shop.
Oh, for God's
Let's
sake!
not talk about that.
What the hell was going on yesterday, Steve? Can I just say, when Steve is in public, sometimes he is the rudest person.
I'm not really.
You are rude.
I'm not. Anyway, let's not go into that.
You were very rude yesterday.
I get very frustrated when I get poor service.
Yes, we were waiting in a queue in this new cafe that we found in Much Wenlock, and there were some people in front of us who were trying to choose some cakes, and it took them a very long time. And Steve was
10 minutes.
Steve was getting frustrated.
All I wanted to do was pay and go.
Yes, but these people in front of us were choosing their cakes very slowly.
Should we have that cake? Oh, what's that cake like?
What's that
what about
cake?
that
How
one?
big's the
That's
one?
a nice one.
What's in the middle of that cake?
Shall we have
what
one?
about
Shall we have
that
another
cake?
one? Shall we have
What
another
about
one?
that cake?
And annoyingly,
And Steve was getting really angry.
a couple of minutes fine, but when it went on to nearly 10 minutes, I just thought, well, surely, yes, we've got my card. All we want to pay 5 seconds and out. But the particular person who was serving should have said, "Excuse me, ladies, you choose your cakes. I'll just let this person pay." And it would have taken 10 seconds, we'd have been gone. But no, she waited until they'd chosen all these cakes. They put them into boxes.
But that's okay because
It's just so
but
frustrating.
the problem was Steve then started saying things.
Yes, I did.
You went,
I just want to pay.
just keep us
Keep us waiting, won't you? Yes. Oh, I've got look at the time.
Where's Steve? You weren't doing that. I kind of wish you were doing that. That was more subtle than what you were actually doing.
I was frustrated.
I did
Poor
feel-
customer service.
I felt ashamed.
We're not going back. That's it.
We can't
They're
go
out.
We can't go back now anyway. I don't think they will let us back in.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
My frustration. I made my frustration known by the stern expression on my face. Yes, thank you. I'll pay. Yep. Bye bye.
Yes. Okay.
They knew they'd crossed the line. I'm only joking.
Have you
I'm
ever
just joking.
thought? Have you thought, Steve, that you might just be a curmudgeon?
Well, that's the trouble, you see. I'm now worrying about it because I'm not working anymore. All the little things. I'm worrying about all the little things.
Getting older is not just about your appearance on the outside, but also what happens up here. And I think Steve is turning into a miserable old fart.
I've got to change. I've got to get into a new routine now.
Yes.
I'm doing something constructive. Maybe I'll do voluntary work.
You've got to stop it. You've got to stop being an old fart.
Maybe I could help disabled people who've got so old and decrepit they have to go around Much Wenlock in buggies.
You can help me around. You can become my carer.
Good God, that's not going to happen, Mr. Duncan.
When I'm in my little mobility scooter going around the streets, sounding my little horn. I like the little horn. There's a horn on your mobility scooter. Beep, beep, beep. That's what it sounds like, and I want to have one. But my horn will be huge. I will have a big horn on the front of my mobility scooter, and it'll be like one of those things that you use on lorries. It'll be wah, wah, wah.
And people would jump out of the way.
Yes, I'm just going to be annoying.
They will think that there's a big, huge, articulated lorry coming through Much Wenlock. They'll look back and it's just you and your buggy.
You don't need a license, or you don't have to pass a test, because that would be stupid. You can't take a test to drive a mobility scooter because the chances are you would fail because you need a mobility scooter. The whole point of having a mobility scooter that you sit in to help you walk around and go around, where you're not walking, you're driving, is the fact that you can't walk. So clearly you're not able anyway. So that's what I want to do. I want to have my little mobility scooter. It will be mine one day.
And then my life will be at an end.
Inaki agrees with you
About what?
about...
Indecisive people. Yes, I mean, there's people waiting to pay, just to pay to go. But actually, it wasn't their fault. It was the fault of the people working in the shop, because they should have, they knew we were waiting.
They should have handled the situation.
They should have either said, "Oh, sorry, boys, we'll be with you in a minute.
Boys.
Boys, yes. Sorry, lads, we'll be with you in a minute. Or they should have said, oh, excuse me, do you mind if I just let these gentlemen pay? Instead of keeping us waiting for nearly 10 minutes. Would you be frustrated if you were kept waiting, standing to pay for 10 minutes while other customers were choosing cakes?
Well, some people are more patient than you.
I'm not.
No.
I didn't mind 2 or 3 minutes. That's fine.
Why are you shouting?
But nearly 10 minutes, I felt a fool. People were looking. They were saying, oh, look at those idiots standing there.
Yes. No, not idiots. Idiot.
But you do feel, I felt sort of, I know it sounds like a bit spoilt.
Yes.
A bit spoilt and a bit, what's the word? But, if I was...
An asshole.
If I was been working there, I would have, said, I'd just let these people pay. And, anyway.
Yeah. So there is a brief insight into our lives and what I have to put up with on an average day. And now he's not working. I've got this all the time.
Well, you told me not to work, not to get a job.
I didn't tell you not to.
Yes, you did.
I didn't.
I think you did.
You liar. What a liar.
Are we going to do those words?
Well, no, we're not. We haven't got time.
Oh, right, okay.
It'll be another 40 minutes.
40 minutes?
Yes, I got about 30 things to show.
So we'll do that next week then. Or
Well,
you could do it on Wednesday.
I'll do it. I might do it on Wednesday instead,
Right.
which means I have to change the whole thumbnail for this lesson because we haven't talked about the thing that I've said we are going to talk about. So it's all very confusing.
Yes, Valentin. This should be a second queue for people who want to pay and go.
Mm.
That's it. Well, there were other people working there.
But it's small. The place is very small.
But there were other people. It's not just one person working there. There are several people working, any one of which could have taken that payment. But they didn't. And I just got frustrated.
Mm.
But I wasn't rude. I just gave them a snooty look and walked out. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. But we all get frustrated, don't we, at times?
You certainly do.
For various reasons. And I'm going, my hips are aching, Mr. Duncan.
You
I've been
poor
standing.
man. You poor... See, I'm okay. I'm not aching. Nothing. I've been standing here for 2 hours and 20 minutes, standing here in this actual spot. Mr. Steve comes in and he says, I'm all aching. Oh, poor me. Poor Mr. Steve. Anyway, we've put the world to rights today. We've put everything right. We've talked about protesting. We've talked about eating insects as part of your diet. We haven't looked at words connected to hard and easy. We haven't done it because Steve, he just wanted to talk about other things. Politics and putting the world to right.
It's been lovely being here. Well, some of it's been lovely.
Yes. If only I could edit. I should edit all of this down to the good bits. But then it would only be about 10 seconds long, unfortunately. Shall we go?
Well, Mr. Duncan, I just want to say it's been lovely being here today. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll be back next week if Mr. Duncan allows me, if he forgives me for my bit of a rant there in the middle. But it's been lovely being here, having your company, talking to you, reading your comments, and rhubarb. There's a phrase, rhubarb. If you say rhubarb, what does that mean?
It means you're just talking nonsense. Rhubarb,
Yes.
rhubarb. You're saying things, but it's either tedious or boring, or you're just talking about something uninteresting.
But that is the complete opposite to the person we've got on. Because rhubarb is a lovely vegetable that you can stew in your saucepan.
Is it a vegetable? I don't think rhubarb is a vegetable.
Is it a fruit?
I don't think it's a fruit either.
Well, it's got to be one of the two, hasn't it? It's not a nut.
No.
I think it's a vegetable. I don't know what it is, but you cut rhubarb and it's very acidic.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't cook it in an aluminium saucepan because the acid will dissolve the aluminium and you will get poisoned.
I think it's a type of tuber.
Yes, but I don't know. But yeah, you cut it, sugar, put it into a pie, or have it with custard, and it's delicious. And I'm sure you are too.
What? Don't start that
I'm going
again.
too far now. See you all next week. Have a great week.
What a great way to end.
Learning English and looking forward to Mr. Duncan's live stream on Wednesday.
Yes, I will be here on my own. There won't be any of this here on Wednesday. So please join me.
Unless, of course, you want me to be here on Wednesday.
Wait, how are you going to be here on Wednesday then?
Well, if people say they want me here, I might be here.
Aren't you doing something else?
No, not doing anything.
More important than this?
No, I can be here. Definitely be here. So that's it. It's a date. I'm here on Wednesday. Right, see you all on Wednesday. Bye.
Thank you,
No,
Mr.
I won't. I'll let you do your own live stream on Wednesday because that's what you like to do and you can get those words done. That's going to be the whole of the live stream, isn't it, on Wednesday?
Yes, I think so.
Which is going to be the words on... What are the words again?
It's words to do with hard and easy.
Hard and easy. That's it. Not hard and soft.
No.
Okay.
Hard, which is doing this with you, and easy, which is doing it without you.
Well, I don't want to do it anyway on Wednesday, so you're better off on your own.
Oh, okay.
I'm only joking.
What? Okay, Steve.
I feel... Right,
Well,
okay.
Steve is off to take his medication now.
Yes.
Because I have a feeling he hasn't taken
No,
it.
I forgot. Yeah, that's it. I forgot to take it. Yes. Yeah.
And I will see you on Wednesday. And thanks, Steve. It's very nice. Are you going now?
Well, I thought you were going to fade me away professionally.
Is it?
You just want me to walk off, do you?
I think yeah. Oh, dear. Well, that was a weird one. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. It was a strange one. It was unusual. It had some rather odd moments. I will be back with you on Wednesday, and we will be looking at the subject that we should have looked at, which was words and phrases connected to hard and easy, things that are simple and things that are difficult. We will do that and look at it on Wednesday. Thanks for your company. See you soon. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And have a good week until Wednesday, which is when I will be back with you once again. Thank you very much. It's very nice to see so many people joining in. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. See you soon. Take care of yourself. And until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Ta-ta for now.